On this trip, we're camping in Pine Valley, Utah. It's just a little bit north of St. George, Utah. It's a real beautiful place. It's been on our list for a couple years, and this year we got the reservation to come down to do it. We have some exploring to do, there's some fishing, and we're going to show you the area. My name's Kevin, and thanks for watching. In this video, it's going to be a travel video. We're exploring down here near St. George, Utah. We're at a place called Pine Valley, and in Pine Valley is a campground just in the National Forest, and we're staying at Dean Gardner. Dean Gardner Campground is one of, I think, 4 different campgrounds in this general area. There's a bunch of group camping and regular camping sites as well as day use. One of the places we're taking you to is the Mountain Meadows Massacre site. It's a very sad, tragic event that happened back in 1857, and I'm going to show you some details about that. The fishing in the area is the Dean Gardner fishing pond. It's, I guess you'd call it a reservoir or a tiny little lake. It's a man-made pond fed by some natural water coming from off the mountains. Fishing is really good. Since we've been here, most people have caught their limit. We always catch and release, but Chris has caught an awful lot of fish since we've been here. So if that's on your bucket list of things to do, fishing is something that's going to be good. We know that this is a paved campground, and all the trails and the walking paths are paved in really good conditions. So we had the kids bring their skateboard and scooter so that they could have some fun as well, and not having to be bored on the things that maybe Grandpa and Grandma want to do. Exploring some of the group campgrounds, the kids and I took off to the upper campgrounds, which are group day use only. You can tell that there are a lot of kids that visit out here in the group campgrounds because they've built these little teepees and lean-tos against all the trees. And if you're wondering about cell service at this campground, where we're at Dean Gardner, it's not so good. But the kids and I took a walk up to this group campground that's nearby, and I've got 4 bars of service right now. 4 bars of service is a good thing, so if you need an emergency to make a call, this is the thing to do. One of the things I'll mention is the Vyeo Pie factory. If you've never been to this place, it's north of St. George, but south of where we are here. At our campground in Dean Gardner Campground is probably 8 miles, something like that, south. That place has been in business for 30 years. It has amazing pies, and last time we stopped by, we did stop in and get a couple of pies, and so we got to show the grandkids what this place is all about.
I just was gonna say that I really love this campground, and fun fact, the trees smell amazing.
Pine trees can give off a different smell. I think what you'll find is if you're smelling around the sappy areas and the bark of the ponderosa pines, they give off that aroma at different times of day. And of course the kids have an awful lot of fun doing it. We needed to get some supplies, so we took the road north from Pine Valley and headed to a place called Enterprise. And on the way there were some signs on the side of the road about a massacre. So we pulled off to check it out. The Mountain Meadows Massacre was a pretty tragic event that happened back in 1857. There was a family of travelers that left from Arkansas, and they took 35 wagons. There was 140 people in this group that traveled from Arkansas going to California. And when they got to Salt Lake City, it was around September 6th, September 7th, and they were stopped by some Mormon militiamen. These Mormon militiamen had enlisted the help of some Paiute Indians. Well, they surrounded the camp and they sieged the campers. The group held them off for 5 days. After the 5 days, the militiamen put up this false white flag of surrender and entered the camp of these travelers saying they're going to give up. And they convinced the travelers to give up their guns and their weapons and their property for their protection and safety. Well, the militiamen turned that on them, and at that point separated the men and the older boys from the women and the older girls, and the wounded and the younger children. They separated the 3 groups, and they marched them off into different directions. At a prearranged signal, the militiamen were instructed to carry out this horrible deed.
3 years old. There was a girl 1 year old.
It says 35. 35 were children 17 and younger. At least 20 of them were 12 and younger. 13 were women 18 and older. 33 were men 18 and older.
And they killed 120 of the 140 people that were in this group. And I'm glad that the Mormon Church recognized this for what it was and built the memorial for them. There's a lot of history that goes on more than this of what happened here that day. And you can see here by the memorial that was built for these families, the survivors, was pretty amazing, and it's a really nice thing to see. This is one of those things that not many people know about, and it's just off the side of the road, and thank goodness people documented the process of what happened and the terrible things that went on. Some of the amazing things that you find on the side of the road, if you just keep an eye out when you're going from one place to another. And that's one thing about traveling the country or camping in general, you get to experience history. This is just one of them. Even though this is a real sad event, it was really fun getting to stop here and showing my 2 grandkids a little bit about what went on here. Not that they'll understand the entirety of what happened here, but getting to see what happened and us reading to them the stories off the plaques, sharing some of it, some of the details of what these people went through in their life. Maybe it will help them to know just a little bit more. If you like this video and you got something out of it from this history that we shared with you today, smash that like button. It helps the video and it helps the channel. Lets me know these are the kind of videos you'd like to watch, and we'll make more. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to get more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.